Let's be brutally honest. Your financial advisor is probably a nice guy. He wears a pleated suit, works in a building with too much glass, and talks to you about diversification and low-cost index funds. He looks at the S&P 500 chart like it's the Holy Bible, and for most people, he's right. But for you, the guy who actually enjoys the smell of gasoline and the mechanical click of a perfect gear change, he's missing the biggest opportunity in the market. See, there's a massive difference between wealth and being rich. Being rich is having a number on a screen. Being wealthy is owning an asset that you can touch, feel, hear, and most importantly, drive at 150 miles per hour while it still makes you money. Today, we aren't just talking about a car. We are talking about the Porsche 911, a machine that has defied physics for 60 years and is now defying the laws of depreciation.
Let's look at the safe investment first, the S&P 500. Over the last few decades, it has averaged about a 10% annual return. Not bad, right? But that 10% comes with a cost. It comes with the stress of watching geopolitical drama, interest rate hikes, and tech bubbles burst. It's a roller coaster that you can't control. Now look at the Porsche 911 market, specifically the air-cooled era and the modern GT products. If you bought a 964 generation 911 10 years ago, you haven't just outperformed the stock market, you've absolutely demolished it. We're talking about appreciation in the range of 300 to 400%. Why? It's simple. Supply and demand mixed with a heavy dose of nostalgia.
But wait, the skeptics cry. What about the maintenance? A stock doesn't need an oil change? Okay, let's talk about that. If you buy a Ferrari or a McLaren as an investment, you're basically buying a ticking time bomb. Those cars are like high-maintenance supermodels. If you don't spend $10,000 a year on them just to keep them happy, they'll leave you stranded on the side of the highway with a plume of smoke and a broken heart. But a Porsche, a 911, is the blue-collar king of the elite world. It's the only supercar you can actually drive to the grocery store, park it in the rain, and then take it to the track the next day without it throwing a temper tantrum. Buying a Ferrari for its resale value is like marrying someone for their cooking but never letting them enter the kitchen. Buying a 911, it's like marrying the best chef in town who also happens to be a world-class athlete and never gets sick. It's just common sense. Let's dive into the history for a second, because the history is where the money is. Back in the late 90s, Porsche made a choice that changed everything. They moved from air-cooled engines to water-cooled engines. At the time, the purists hated it. They thought the 911 was dead. But what actually happened was the creation of a golden era. If you're a 55-plus American male, these were the cars on your bedroom wall. You remember the poster of the whale-tailed turbo. Now you're at a point in your life where you have the capital to buy that dream, and you aren't alone. There are millions of guys just like you, all bidding on the same limited pool of cars. While the S&P 500 relies on the growth of 1,000 different companies, the value of a 911 relies on the shared memories of a generation. And memories, they don't have bad quarters.
Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, electric vehicles. Wall Street wants you to believe that the future is electric. But have you looked at the resale values of high-end EVs lately? They drop faster than a rock in a lake. Why? Because an EV is a piece of technology, and technology becomes obsolete. Your 5-year-old Tesla is like a 5-year-old laptop. The battery is worse, the software is slower, and the new model makes it look like a dinosaur. But a gasoline-powered Porsche 911 is not technology. It is art. Does a Picasso lose value because someone invented a digital camera? No. Does a Rolex lose value because an Apple Watch tells better time? Absolutely not. So, what's the final verdict? If you're 22 years old, yeah, listen to the guy in the pleated suit. Put your money in the index fund. But if you've worked your tail off for 30 years, if you've built a life, paid the mortgage, and survived the rat race, you deserve an investment that pays you back in more than just decimals. You deserve to walk into your garage at 9 p.m. on a Tuesday, flip on the light, and see that iconic silhouette staring back at you. Your 401k doesn't have a soul, your index fund doesn't have a heritage, and your financial advisor definitely doesn't know how to heel and toe downshift into a hairpin turn.
Stop watching the ticker tape and start watching the red line. If you agree that life is too short to drive boring cars, hit that subscribe button. Join the 9/11 retirement plan. Thanks for watching. Now go out there, buy the car, and drive it like you stole it. Your portfolio will thank you later.